Well, good morning and welcome to your Friday 5 for 5. I am Adam, the worship pastor here at First Baptist Church of the Islands. And this week, all of our pastors have been talking about finances and money. And I once heard a pastor say a comment that really struck me. He said, many Christians trust God wholeheartedly with their salvation, but don't trust Him with their finances. Have you ever thought about that in your life? Have you trusted God wholeheartedly with your salvation, but you still struggle to trust Him with your finances? Well, the book of Proverbs talks a little bit about this. And in the book of Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, you know that verse very well. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him," verse 6 says, "and He will make straight your paths." Verse 7, "Be not wise in your own eyes, fear the Lord, and turn away from evil." Verse 8, "It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones." And so many times we stop right there when reading this passage. But if we look down on the next two verses, those verses we tend to kind of throw out when we think about this Proverbs 3 passage. Verse 9 of Proverbs 3 says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then," verse 10 says, "your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine." In Bible school this week, we talk a lot about trusting God. In fact, the kids, this is our symbol. We kind of pick one leg up and pull down like that. We're trusting God. And when we think about trusting God, it is so easy to trust God with so many aspects of our lives, our salvation being one of those. But for some reason, we have so much trouble trusting God with our finances. But I can say from mine and Marsha's experience, there have been so many times that there has been more month left at the end of the money, and God has just provided. A check that we didn't expect would come in. God tends to always provide if we're faithful to Him. Back when I was in seminary, we had a professor that told us, if I really want to see what's important to your life, I will look at your planner or your day timer, your calendar. Well, I would say the same thing about our finances. If we really want to see what's a priority in our lives, if we really want to see what's important in our lives, we can just take a look at our check register. We can take a look at our account sequence there from the bank, and we can see where we spend our money. We can see what we place importance on. I hope that from this week and all of our pastors have been talking about, that you can not only trust God with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding in the big things, but also in things pertaining to money and finances. Growing up, I always heard them say, we serve the God who owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. And, growing up with animals, I thought, well, that's pretty cool. But as I got older, I really began to understand what that means. It's already God's. It's all His, and He's just asked us to be stewards over it. So we have to give back to Him to thank Him for what He's already given to us. And if we do so, He'll bless us with it. I hope that God is going to use you to be a blessing to someone around you today. I know God uses our church in amazing ways, and we want to thank you for all that you do. In fact, if you're around the island tonight at 6 o'clock, we have our Vacation Bible School. And we're raising money this year for the Savannah Baptist Mission. And if we raise just $4,000, all 5 of our staff pastors are going to have to line dance this Friday evening tonight. So I'm going to ask if you could, and if you feel so led to do so, you can drop by the church and make a donation on behalf of the Savannah Baptist Mission to either the boys or the girls. We got to see which team wins. And then we're going to be dancing tonight about 8:15 or so. And so we'll see if we can't get some video and post it here on Facebook. But be praying for our kids in Bible school. Is this our last night? And also be praying that God will give you wisdom and will allow you to trust Him even in your finances. We'll see you Sunday morning. We love you. Bye-bye.